The reason startup cannot invest or have difficulty because first, like I mentioned about the ID. Second, because the FPGA, it ran to its peak volume around 5 years. It took around 5 years to go to its peak. So investors can't wait for 5 years to wait until it go. Right? There's no investor who are patient enough to wait for their investment. Let's say that if you invest your friend, and your friend say after 5 years only I give you the money. Would you like her to invest? They say, but I say I put somewhere else that, you know, that can give me return in 1 year. So that's the reason why FPGA, you know, is very difficult because of the IP protection and because of the long before it reached its peak. And Intel CEO, he saw the advantage of the FPGA, so how he can use it on the data center, you know. So that's it. Okay. Oh, Intel has a group in IoT, but I'm not going to comment about because I do not know what's Intel plan on IoT, right? And I also didn't search on the Intel IoT.
Is it because the Altera produce a lot of the chipset in the IoT system?
No. Okay, before we go into IoT, we have to understand what is IoT. You know, the IoT hardware is very cheap. So where do people make money from? It's from the service and from the software. It's not from the hardware. If you allow me, I can share a little bit about IoT. Can you hang on to your question first? Let me just take you to the IoT, then you can see what I try to say about IoT. Okay. These are examples of the company that are moving into IoT. Right? You can see that GE also want to go into IoT. Why? See, a lot of companies, Philips, Broadcom, you know, our friend Avago bought Broadcom, 30 billion. They bought that company, and they're going to change the name from Avago to become Broadcom. Right? Avago, Agilent, Avago. Anyone from Agilent before? Or Avago? I just met Lee this morning. He's the MD of Avago. So Avago will no longer use their name. They are going to use Broadcom. So they are also, looking for this IoT. So many companies are moving into the IoT. Of course, not to mention Intel. Intel has a business unit called the IoT. So there's a massive opportunity in the revenue, huge opportunity for the hardware, software, and service provider. So revenue projection for the IoT in 2020 is Fujitsu put is $1 trillion. So you can search a lot of this information. So the industrial internet, which is applicable to half of the global economy by 2025, is 82 trillion output. In terms of the industrial internet. And then they do the breakdown in terms of the aviation. You can see that, sorry, the print is a bit small. Aviation is around 303. And then we have power, healthcare, and oil and gas. It's 30 billion for the aviation. Power is around 60 billion. Then oil and gas around 90 billion. Yeah.
Sorry, Dato', before you proceed further, in layman terms, what is IoT?
Okay, hold on. I will come back to I will maybe one more slide, I think. Okay, one more slide. I think. These are the IoT that's already been shipped. It's okay. Don't worry about this slide. Okay, this is the one. How many of you use Amazon? Okay, so you are very familiar with the Amazon, right? It's not the South America Amazon, this is that you buy things and so on from the Amazon. Okay. So Amazon have this called the the Amazon Dash. You know, it's just a small gadget where they give you almost free already. So you can put at your washing machine or in your bathroom and so on. So let's say that at your washing machine, then you do your laundry and then your washing detergent almost finished, right? You just press that button. Then Amazon will send the washing powder the next day to your door. In charge to your account. So you have the account. Or when you are having a shower and then suddenly you use your shampoo and so on, all finished. You just press one button, the next day Amazon ship to you. You have your shampoo already at your doorstep. Right? So they have this gadget, you know, called the Amazon Dash. Right? Yeah, you press, you press it, you get it. So you can do, for example, like Tesco also, the same thing, right? When your sugar, or your rice and so on, so just press that button, the rice, Tesco will come and put your doorstep for item.
Sugar, rice.
Yeah, they have a different, they will know when you press this device means for this. And you can later on invent the device that you can switch for sugar you press, shampoo you press, but you forget to switch then you press other thing there. So when Amazon make it, they just make it very simple for people to use that, so that they will be error free. Because sometimes people forget to switch and then they just press and then but in country like in advanced country like the US and so on, they are not worried because when the delivery man deliver food at their doorstep, right? 2 days or so you will not go missing. You will still be there. But at our place sometimes, I will not make that comment. So this is an example. And another example that you can do is that, for example, when we go and see doctor, like when you go to speech specialist or let's say you go to Gleneagles or anything, right? As you walk in, we have that device, right? Then the hospital will know that, okay, you already entered, right? And then they will pull your record already. Instead of you go and then try to plug the word, look for the records and so on. Like the doctor also know, okay, this fellow is in the hospital already and so on. So all these documents, they have been processed. And then there's also, anyone of you know about Innovate Malaysia? Right? So some companies participate in Innovate Malaysia, Intel, Azlan, and so on. This year, Innovate Malaysia, one student at ETN, won the best project. She used the FPGA to do some diagnosis, right, on the health of a patient. So that means with that device, before the patient go and see the doctor, the nurse can put that device in, and then will know whether the condition of that patient. Sometimes it just false alarm on it. Then the nurse say, okay, you can go home. Or with that information, the doctor will know that, okay, this person have this, and then the doctor can diagnose further. So these are the things that you can, you can use. So there's many applications. Does it answer your question on IoT?
Instead of the end product, you call it instead of like a software.
The software is the one. Okay. The IoT is all that for the IoT. The hardware, the software, and so on. Right? The hardware basically there's not much money there. The software is where people make money, and the service, like the Amazon, they give this free, but where they get the money from is from that product that they sell. Right? That's where they make, and then the software that the people do for them. So the whole thing is called the IoT for them. Right? One example on IoT, a friend of mine, he was working on this parking. You know, now parking we have to use the coupon, right? And then you know, that one is not good for health when you cut, right? But we have no choice lah. Some people I saw them doing it outside the car and so on. So that means they know the material. So a friend of mine developed software. So he said that one of the agencies is going to use. So you have to load only to your phone. Then you can use your software. And then the enforcer also will have a software will know when you park. Then you just scan, you know, that your car, okay, you have a one hour from this time to this time. So when the enforcer comes, they say, okay, your car is okay. You already paid for the parking, so you don't have to use the coupon. So I was discussing with him, how about you extend this? You know, most of us have spouse working, right? So normally our house, when we come to work, no one at home. And then when this courier come in and so on, what happened? They give us a slip, right? And then they only open office hour, and then we cannot go and collect it. So only Saturday half day only we go and rush and queue at post laju or whatever. So you just imagine that at the post laju, or you know, you have this box, many box like Indian post, and then they, instead of they send to your house, they just drop into this box, right? And then they send you message. They say that your item being delivered is in box number 1, and this is your password or scan or whatever. Then you just go to the box, you just scan, the box open, you take. You can go at night, you can go anytime that you like. You have to wait for the post laju to open or whatever.
There will be a lot of boxes.
Boxes, you know, but when the box is empty, then they will just fill up. Or just imagine that, you know, when you want to ship things, you still have to go to the courier service. Just imagine this box have a weighing machine, and you know, with a credit card or debit card machine and so on. You just weigh, punch in the code, you know, what code where you want to ship, and then you say that, okay, 35 ringgit, then you swipe your debit card or your credit card, then you just throw inside it, and then the next day or a few hours later, you just come and collect, and then you will call it. So they can put it at Quizway, or they can put it at Intel, or they can put, you know, at Starbucks, or they can put at any place. You know, so you can go there anytime that you like. So these are the few examples that you can go for. Yeah.
Comments. DSM has been looking. We have been working together on IoT project, and we have IoT data center here.
There's a data center, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So IoT is a very good thing. You know, it connects things around us to the internet. It gives us information, ease of life, and kind of stuff. But I was just thinking, I read one article. They estimate about 140 million jobs will be jeopardized by 2025 with the expansion of IoT. What is your comment on that? Number 1. Number 2, what's next after IoT?
First, let me answer. IoT is actually not a new technology. IoT is actually existing technology, which we need an integrator to come and integrate the technology with the software. You know, like this push button. It's not a new technology. It's already there. You just need to have a software that talk to Amazon. That's all. And you need to have that server, you know, to capture. And this, the data centers and so on, is to process this information, like your payments, like you know your style, your address, you know your credit card information, all this about the information. So you need this. About the job, I would say yes and no. Right? Yes means that yes, there will be some job will be replaced by this. No means that you need some people to do this programming work and so on, right? So you will create other kind of job. You will create the integrator job. You create the software job, right? People need to service the data center. You know, all this you still need the job, but you replace other job. Like now, you don't drive to Tesco anymore. Huh?
Let's go send you.
Yeah, Tesco send you your house. You don't take taxi anymore, so taxi driver will be out of job. You know, just kind of example, but that's not a good example, I think, right? So I think that people are getting more and more busy. They don't have much time and so on. This is productivity. Because if you go to Tesco, you need parking space, you burn the fuel, and then we are using fossil fuel, and then the depletion, you know, government is going for the green technology and so on. So there's a lot, and then government subsidize a lot in terms of fuel and so on. So, you know, all these are wastage that people have to go to Tesco just to get the detergent. Then, when I talk about automotive later on, then we can talk about the autonomous. Does that answer your question? Okay. So anything that can be measured, connected or controlled is IoT. It's a very high, you know, very simple definition of IoT. Okay, so I think we can just move this. These are the evolution. You can see that mostly of computing means it use very, very low power. Look at this, you know, they call it the N-size radio. How this is the US 1 cent. Look at how big is that? Look at the world's smallest computer. How big is that? From the University of Michigan. So many things. Look at this entire computer architecture on a single chip. It's already available. And the thought this bomb is not the bomb explosive one. It's the bill of material. You know, under $30 only to make this. They call it computer on chip. Right? Mostly on computing where you use power. Right? Look at the server. Okay, and then with the IoT, they call it big data or cloud computing and so on. You can see about the energy. Right? The data center electricity consumption in 2020 is 140 billion kilowatt hours. 50 power plant. Look at 2030. US data center consume 91 billion kilowatt hours of electricity. So when you increase the job, the data center job, people have to build more power plant, people work in the power plant and so on. So the job will be displaced. Okay. So I'll just, okay, that's a little bit about IoT. Now switching topic to automotive. Automotive is a bit easy to talk because most of us have cars. How many of you cannot drive? All can drive, right? Okay. So very easy. Okay, in automotive there's infotainment, then ADAS, and also the EV or the powertrain. Infotainment, you know, right? Those videos and music and so on. The ADAS, can you see? ADAS is Advanced Driver Assistance System, the ADAS, right? LKAS is not the Lekas Highway, right? It's the Lane Keep Assistance System. That means, let's say when you are driving, then you fall asleep or something, you know, and then your car want to switch lane, then you see that it's not safe to do it, then you prevent the car from switching lane. So it helps. So this is the advanced driver assist system. So one day in future, there's it's already available called the autonomous vehicle. People like Audi, Cadillac, cities and so on, they are now prototyping autonomous, like the Google car, no? So the car can move by itself. So there's a car that running on the Altera FPGA that tested by Audi, drove from LA to Vegas. But because of the California law, the US law required people to be at the driver's seat, right? So the driver was there, but he's not doing anything. You know, the car is controlling, you know, the whole thing. And the car is not moving very slow. It's moving like 50 to 60 miles per hour. It's very fast. And the accuracy of that car, I mean the accuracy, right, is 2 centimeters. 2 centimeters. Even normal driver want to hit 2 centimeters also not that easy. So just imagine one day when you are at work, your children want you to come home to send him or her to tuition or what, right? Then you will have to just send your car. And then the car will go there. So one day when you come to work, you know, just imagine that the parking will become very small. Because the parking size don't need to be very big because you didn't come out from the car. Right? When you reach your office, you get out from the car, then say go and park. Then the car will just go and find a parking slot and park. And then nobody in and out of the car, right? So you can park just side by side. No need to open the door. The door is open only for you to go into the car, but at the parking you don't need to go into the car. You know, so the parking size, the parking slot will be lesser. So I will talk later on about why people are moving into this. There are reasons, you know. It's not for fun. People are doing this, you know. It must be reason. Okay. The vehicle cost, standard vehicle cost. Now it's 2015, right? So 10 years ago, say I did not know we here ago. I haven't get problem. That's why I need to retire fast. You know, in the 10 years ago, the electronic component in the car are only like around 15% of the total cost of the car. Only 15%. In the old days, not so much electronic in the car. Now there's a lot really. So it's only 15%. And then with the hybrid car, how many of you own a hybrid car? No? Nobody have a hybrid car? Okay. The hybrid electric car, around 45% electronic. You know, the component inside that, including the batteries, right? 45%. And then when we go to electric vehicle or the hybrid electric vehicle, in future, there will be 80% will be the electronic cost. And 20% are all other like seats and so on, the dashboard, you know, they're only the plastic and so on, even the floor, the tires and so on, they only will be around 20%. The rest are all electronic. And the car, you know, why? So just now I was telling you about, you know, it's not for fun. There are reasons why people are doing this. One is the consumer demand. Because people want it, right? Would you want a car that when you arrive at the office, just step out from there and then, or when you arrive at Tesco or any shopping, right? You don't have to go and search for parking. You know? You just go into it, and then when you come out with your trolley from there, then you put your car will come. You just throw the thing inside. Right? Say again? Yeah. So people want that, right? There's a consumer demand. The other one is safety. There's 1.2 million fatalities each year. You know? And this is the US data, 1.2 million. And 90% due to human error. Either they're sleeping or they're texting or you know, whatever thing, or they're drunk. Many things can happen, right? So 90%. So you just imagine if people who are drunk, they just jump into the car, right? And then even they are drunk, they want to switch lane also the car will say, no, I cannot. I will not allow you to do that. Right? And of course, the efficiency because of the, you know, the government mandate to drive more stringent emission. So that's why the hybrid coming, so that you don't burn a lot of this fossil resources because there's a division of the resources. Okay, so one day we will see. Maybe I'm not able to see. Maybe you all can still see the future of this, automotive. So this is a global production. You can see that in year last year there's a close to 91 million vehicles being produced, and then these are the top 20. Unfortunately, Proton is not. We have a big giant. Just to share about the emerging opportunity that we have. Even in the vehicle, you can also do the IoT things. Let's say that now the car, when you enter the car don't recognize you. They do not know who you are. But you have a gadget and so on, right? When you jump into the car, then the car will recognize you, the car will not start if it's not you. Until you talk to the car or do something. Yeah, now they have like keyless entry and so on, but you still have to hold the key with you, right? Yeah, one day, you just need the thumbprint or your voice to activate the car. And then when you have coughing or you're listening, then the car will recognize you. Then you have problems. Or your phone. When you enter the car will recognize you and then will sync your phone, to the car system. And then when the call comes in or you want to make the call, you can just stop. So there are many things that we can. People are getting more. They want to be more productive, so they can read newspaper in the car. Nobody now reads newspaper also. They can read news from their smartphone and so on while the car is. They can do emails and so on in the car. Because when we are on the road, we cannot do emails and so on, right? Although that I saw some people trying, to do it. But when you have autonomous vehicle, then you can do it. So just think, there's a lot of opportunity waiting for us. It's just that how to tap that. Just a simple Korea thing. Very simple. Then yes.
One question. Based on your experience and opinion, right? Apple has actually been a player in the smartphone industry, and the day when they mentioned that they are going into automotive industry, was that a shocking decision that they have made, or do you think they have a future in that?
Yeah, it's not really shocking, right? Because we need to grow the business. So we know that people like Apple and so on will continue to do many things like automotive and so on, because they see there's opportunity, and then they have a very good software. Apple, whether we like it or not, in terms of software, is much better than Android. Although that I'm not an iPhone fan, I'm using an Android, right? I admit that, in terms of their software, they're very good. So they look at the software that they have, right? So they think that they can go and penetrate into the automotive sector.
But they are not working with anyone, right, to actually venture into this industry, because it's actually a very expensive industry to start with, and they are alone into this channel.
I'm not too sure whether they are alone or they have partners or maybe they are targeting a company, to go and buy, and because there's a lot of startup company. You know what is startup, right? There are a lot of startup company in the field, so working on many things. Maybe they identify, and then this company like Apple, Google, Microsoft, they give funds to this startup company. Sometimes they give like $1 million, just to do what you like. And then when they see, wow, this is a good company, then you buy. So to your question, I'm not aware of whether Apple has a partner. But it's not a surprise to say, because they see there's opportunity, there's a lot of opportunity. But the automotive industry is not easy to enter because of safety requirements. Yeah.
Another comment. I've been involved in a lot of startup people. Their PCs throwing money in, but not the market is not really that exciting in Malaysia. Talk about the US, probably much more interesting. But talking about technology, we have this debate often with electronics and mechanical. Yes, electronics to create some fun in life and produce, enable us to be more effective, more efficient and stuff. But I think we cannot deny ourselves. There are a lot of danger parts of it. For example, you have a car, you don't have to control it, you don't have a key. So basically, someone can just hijack the server, hijack the car, and do many things. So those are the debate between should we go into that or shouldn't we go into that? How well protected is our data center? How well protected is our IoT? So what's your comment on that?
You know, every technology there's always this pro and cons. And I agree with you. But that should not be something stopping us from moving forward. Of course, there are some bad people in the world that try to hack, try to do funny things, right? But majority of people are sick people. So we should not, like, because of some bad apple, we try not to except for if that technology is very disruptive and kill every, it's not good. But if, like, people stealing our cars and so on, so people always find other technology. People will start with something and then go on it. Right? So I think that we should encourage that activity, we should move forward, and then people will see coming with in the old days, car don't have aircon. I mean, in Malaysia, only have fan. When I was small, my father's car like that. I think you will never see that fan. You are too young to know what I'm describing to you about that. Then, in the old days, if you have a car stereo in your car, people will steal your car stereo. In the old days, now people don't steal your car stereo anymore because all cars got car stereo, right? I mean, very seldom you hear people break into your car to steal the car stereo. They break in, maybe they see some, Rolex watch on it or what, those kind of thing like. But you hardly hear people break into the car, So later on, with the technology advancing and so on, then people can afford. It's a standard item, so people don't really go and steal. Because one day when people have all the vehicle and so on, so people will not steal the car also because there's no point for them to steal the car because everybody has a car. Maybe I want to talk a little bit about a bit sensitive. I hope you don't mind. In the Muslim teaching, I don't know. In Muslim teaching, will become one day that people are so rich that even you want to give money to the people will not want to take. There will become a point in time that people are so rich that if you want to give something to the people will not want to. The time is called the times. So that means that's the end of the world. So it's not 2012 or what. We do not know when. Only God knows when that time comes. So when that time comes, then we prepare. It's very close already. Let's start very hard. Because after that moment, nothing is valuable anymore. Nothing can happen except for our deeds, our duties. Yes.
Azlan is a supplier, right? For Celestical, we actually purchase components from Altera, but nowadays Intel is acquiring Altera. So is Intel still proceeding with the components to Celestical?
Yes. Upon business unit at Intel, the client computing group, the data center group, and the IoT group. Right? And then with Altera being into Intel, then they point to a BSD group for the programmable solution group, which is the Altera. So Altera or the programmable solution group will continue to service the current customer and for new products. So that's the plan. So Celestica and so on will continue to receive. But we do not know now whether the Altera will be removed and replaced by Intel, or the Altera will still be there, that depends on Intel. So we do not know. So don't be surprised one day when you receive the part, you know there's no more Altera, it becomes Intel. So don't be surprised. I do not know what's Brian's thinking. You know? Okay, any more questions? Yes.
Dato', I have one question regarding long-range plan.
Okay.
Part of your long-range plan is headcount planning also.
Yeah.
Okay, and that one takes into account external factors in the market. So
Yeah.
the big elephant in the room this
Yeah.
time is the TPPA. When that, as top management, I'm guessing you would have a pretty good insight into how our companies are structured to meet this new agreement.
And TPP.
So I'm going to ask directly, when the TPPA comes in and Malaysia signs on to it, do you see wide-scale headcount reduction?
First, to be honest, I didn't read the whole document. When I look at the document, also I'm afraid to read. And second is that when I first attend the briefing, then until now there's a lot of changes because there's a lot of negotiation happening.